The rise of BRICS as a powerful union has caught the attention of both political analysts and military strategists in a world that is changing quickly. More and more rumors have been spreading about BRICS Plus and its supposed plans to set up an armed force. The BRICS military drills add to these rumors and raise questions about how they might affect the balance of power in the world and the situation of the United States. In this video, we will talk about BRICS Plus building an army and the possible effects it could have on the world order as it is now. But as BRICS Plus builds up its military power, people are starting to wonder if it will really be a threat to the US and its partners. Can BRICS Plus get past its own disagreements and keep a single armed force? And what will this new world order mean for the safety and prosperity of the whole world? BRICS Plus putting together an army is both a chance and a challenge. To figure out what the overall effects are, you need to know a lot about these things and be able to deal with the complexities they bring. Join us as we learn about the rise of BRICS Plus and how it might change the world of politics. Excited? To understand what BRICS Plus means and what its military goals are, we must first look at how the BRICS Union came to be and how it has changed over time. BRICS was first thought of as a group of 5 big emerging economies from different parts of the world that would work together on economic issues. The member countries agreed that they needed to work together to stop the West from controlling the world economy. But as the alliance grew in power and impact, it became clear that BRICS could work together on things other than just economic issues. The idea of BRICS Plus came up as a way to add more emerging economies from different regions to the alliance. The goal of this growth is to make the balance of power on the world stage more even and to challenge the current authority. Please take a moment and do subscribe to our channel for more videos. Recent BRICS military drills have made people wonder more about the group's military goals. These drills show off the military power of the alliance as a whole and serve other purposes as well. First, the military drills give member countries a chance to improve how well they work together and how well they coordinate during joint operations. This is very important if the Union wants to build a strong military base. The drills give military members from different member countries a chance to share information, skills, and best practices, which makes their combined force stronger. Amazing, right? Second, the military drills show that BRICS Plus is getting stronger in the military and keeping possible enemies away. The alliance wants to show that it is a strong world force that can protect its own interests and keep its independence. This show of military strength is likely to make other countries think twice and could change how they treat the partnership. The fact that BRICS Plus is building an army and holding military drills has huge effects on how power is distributed around the world. The United States and other traditional Western powers have been in charge for a long time, but this union is a challenge to their power. It's a sign that the world is moving toward a more complex order, where more than one place has power and affects foreign affairs. Building an army by BRICS Plus could change the way regional security works, especially in areas where member countries' interests overlap or where there are ongoing conflicts. This military buildup could be seen as a threat by neighboring countries, which could lead to more conflict and possibly an arms race. The impact of BRICS Plus could also change security arrangements and partnerships in places like Asia, Africa, and Latin America. This could lead to the formation of new alliances and the reshaping of old ones. A unified armed force in BRICS Plus could make it easier for the alliance to show its strength and protect its members' interests. With this increased military power, BRICS Plus can stand out on the world stage and possibly question the power of established powers. It could make BRICS Plus and traditional global powers compete and fight with each other more, which could lead to higher international tensions and more strategic scheming. The rise of a BRICS armed force adds uncertainty and could make things less stable around the world. As the balance of power changes, rivalries between new and old powers may get worse, which could lead to more conflicts or proxy wars. How well BRICS Plus can handle and deal with these problems will be a key factor in determining global security and the chances of peaceful coexistence among nations. The potential military power of BRICS Plus is an alternative to the world military reach of the United States. As the US's power decreases and it pulls out of some areas, BRICS Plus steps in to fill the gap. It is an alternative power center that can stand up for its own interests and possibly challenge the status order. This change could make the global order more complicated and disorganized, where alliances change and strategic ties are always changing. The United States is definitely worried about the formation of BRICS Plus and its armed goals. As the world's most powerful country, the US has always had the strongest military. The possibility of a strong military force coming out of BRICS Plus could weaken their position. Threatening, right? In answer, the US could use a number of different plans. In order to offset the growing power of BRICS Plus, it may work harder to keep ties with traditional allies, such as NATO members. As a way to protect its own interests and show its power, the US could also increase its military presence in places where BRICS Plus wants to grow its impact. To keep its military advantage, the United States might spend money on modernizing and improving its military. This could mean making and using more advanced weapons, spending on new technologies like artificial intelligence and cyber capabilities, and improving research and development in the military. By staying on the cutting edge of military technology, the US can keep its ability to prevent and its strategic advantage. As a response to BRICS Plus building an army, the US could use economic and trade strategies. This could be done by using the US's economic power to convince or force countries into the alliance, especially those that depend on US trade a lot. By using economic power, the US can change the way BRICS Plus members act and think, which could affect their military goals and strategic calculations. By increasing military deployments and doing joint drills with regional partners, the US can show that it is there and reassure its allies that it will stand by them. This aggressive plan is meant to balance out BRICS Plus and make sure that the US has a strong foothold in strategically important areas. But the US can also work with BRICS Plus in areas where they are both interested. Cooperation on global problems like climate change, cybersecurity, and peacekeeping can help people understand each other better and may even help to reduce conflicts. Finding things you have in common with someone can make your relationship mutually beneficial and lead to a more stable and cooperative world order, right? The US will likely take a diverse approach to the fact that BRICS Plus is building an army. It will include a careful look at the threat that is seen, a strengthening of alliances, a modernization of the military, a presence in the area, negotiations, and economic policies. The US will need to find a balance between competition and unity in order to deal with the changing world and protect its own interests as BRICS Plus grows as a military force. What do you think will be us next step? Growing rumors that BRICS Plus is building an army and recent military drills show that the alliance wants to question the world order as it is now. The fact that BRICS Plus is becoming a military force is a big change where many different centers of power are trying to shape international events. The future of BRICS Plus and its military goals will surely shape the world order of the future. The effects of BRICS Plus building an army are huge and have many different sides. As BRICS Plus continues to improve its military powers, the rest of the world needs to keep a close eye on the situation and figure out what it means. The rest of the world watches with both excitement and fear as BRICS Plus takes steps to build an army. Will this alliance be able to change the world order and change the way power is distributed? Only time will show what the defense goals of BRICS Plus really mean. Will the US react with fear or try to find ways to work together? Stay tuned as we continue to figure out how complicated this changing global story is and what it means for the future of a world that is changing.